Hey YouTube, this is MindTech. Welcome back to another video. So as you know, Apple recently released iOS 13, which includes a bunch of great features like dark mode, this brand new volume HUD that Apple should have implemented years and years ago. There's also like a brand new haptic touch, which apparently is better for the iPad devices, and it's also generally more stable. But the number one feature for me is something that probably nobody else has talked about, and that is native support for SMB server file transfer. And I'm going to talk about why I love that so much. So in the past on this channel, I have voiced my concerns and my complaints about transferring files over USB 2.0 speeds, how unreliable and how slow that is. It's horrible. I have found different solutions to that, like air transfer, which can go over the network to any computer that you want. The issue with that is you have to go to this weird web interface. You don't really know who made it. You don't know how secure it is. Plus, you have to enter in this super long IP address just to get to the interface. And if you don't pay up, you can only transfer 10 files at a time. So the most obvious solution to that would be to add it directly into the camera app. That's exactly what iOS 13 did, and I'm going to show you exactly how you do that. So the first thing you have to do is create and share on your Windows computer. I have created a brand new partition. You can either share out a folder. If you do share a folder though, you're going to share all the other directories to get to that folder. Let's say you have a shared file on your desktop. You're going to share your entire users folder, which might not be the most secure thing. So I'm just going to share out a drive, and every single directory in this shared drive is also going to be shared with the network. So in order to share it, just right click the drive or the folder, go to properties, and then go to the sharing tab right here. Click on advanced sharing, click on share this folder. If you're sharing just a regular folder, not an entire drive, you should be able to click on share right there, but since it's a drive, you have to go to advanced sharing, and then you can tell it what name you want, iPhone stuff, and there's different permissions that you can edit. I'm going to give everyone full control because if I don't change that, all people are going to be able to do is read, and that would create a problem when you try to write. I'm going to say you do not have sufficient permission, so make sure it is on full control, and then I'm going to click on applies and OKs until we get down to seeing that it has a network path. The two most important things here is the computer name and the actual directory. If you want to know if your drive is shared, it should change the icon. As you can see, storage is not shared, but partition 3 is shared. Here's our shared folder, and I can create VBR footage, stuff, and things. And you might see that I used a weird word, VBR footage. And I'm going to get into what we're going to have to do once we transfer the files, because there are issues that arise. Now let's just jump right into the iPhone and access that. Let's pop on right over to the Files app, and then go to the top right-hand corner of the screen where you see a 3 little dots icon, and then click on Connect to Server. Just type in SMB, which again is the Windows File Sharing Protocol, // and then the computer name. In this case, it's MindTech, and if you do not know what your computer is called, just pop open the Settings app, go to System, and then scroll all the way down to where it says About, and then in the Device Specifications pane, you should see device name, and that's all that you need to type in. You don't need to specify what drive you're targeting, and now it's going to ask if you want to connect as a guest or a registered user. I have had much better luck entering in my Windows Live account information, my Windows Live email and password, because that's how I log on to Windows 10. Now let's see a log on using a local account. Just use your username and password for that account as a registered user, and then click on next. And as you can see, we can see all the shares on the computer. The one that we are most interested in is iPhone stuff. That's the one that we just created, and as you can see, all those folders that we just created are available. And since there's nothing in these folders, I guess the one thing we have to do is populate that. So I'm going to pop onto the camera and record just a short little video that I can then transfer over to the computer. And then I'm going to go to the bottom left hand corner, click on the share button, scroll all the way down to where you see save to files, and then you can even name it shot 1 just to organize that. And then since we've already added in MindTech as a shared folder, it already populates here. It's one of our locations on iOS. I'm still in the camera app. I don't even have to move to the Files app once I've added in the server. Once I click on MindTech, you can see all my shares. And when to target iPhone stuff. Then I also want to save it in the VBR footage folder. Just click on save, and this might take a while depending on what resolution you recorded at or how long your video is. And then once I pop onto the drive VBR stuff, as you can see, that footage is already there. But if it was a much longer file, it runs into an issue because iPhone records footage in what's called VBR, or variable bitrate. That does not play well with Windows computers and Adobe software. The bitrate that they want to see is a constant bitrate like what I'm recording at with OBS. That's not what the iPhone shoots at. It might be at 5400 and then 5000 and then 10,000 because it thinks that 10,000 is a better bitrate at the time. We have to re-encode that footage into the constant bitrate, and then we can play it back or edit it. This knowledge was given to me by Barnacules Nerdgasm on Twitter. Thank you so much, Jerry, for telling me how to do this. It has made my workflow faster and easier. So let me impart that knowledge to you. I recommend using Adobe Media Encoder 2019 to do this, but you can also use Handbrake to do the same thing. Once you open it up, click on Watch Folder. So you can either import in each of these files individually into the queue, but that might be really hard if you're importing 200-300 clips. So what I always like to do is add in a folder to automatically encode this footage into the correct format. So click on Watch Folders, and then at the top click on that plus, and then find the folder where you want to save all of your iPhone footage to. So I'm going to go to the drive, go to VBR footage, and this is the folder where I saved that file. So I'm going to then select that folder, and then as you can see, it says match source bitrate. This is what it's going to encode as. The issue with that default setting is that it encodes VBR into VBR, which is not what we want. So in order to change that, we need to click on where it says match source high bitrate, scroll down to the bitrate settings section, and then where you see bitrate encoding, change that VBR1 pass to CBR, and then click on OK, and then it should read custom. And now, as you can see, it already has stuff from output and source because it already encoded that. So I'm going to record another video just to show you that it works, and then I'm just going to save that to files again. And then as you can see, the iPhone picks up that Adobe Media Encoder has created different directories. Output for when it's finished encoding all the files, and then the source, it puts the original files into the source file, but you just save that to the folder that you're watching. If I save something into source, Media Encoder isn't watching source, it's just watching VBR footage. And then we can see this happen in real time. There's the file that just transferred from my iPhone, and you always have to have the program open in order for it to be rendering. And as you can see, it just did that job. Now this is gone, and if we go into output, we have shot 1 and then the one that I just recorded. As you can see, that's really smooth. And the source, if I go to the newest one, you really can't see the difference between the two files right now, but trust me, if you had like a 20-minute long clip, you would run into issues about at the 2-3 minute mark. Everything in this output is now ready for editing. I was able to record something on the iPhone, save it to my computer, have it automatically encode and be ready for me to edit only by tapping just a few things in the iOS 13 Files app. So as a content creator who is recording on an iPhone right now, this is the most useful feature I could ever ask for. It's something that not a lot of people know about, and I just wanted to give that knowledge to you. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.